second time trying to go live with this very topic. There are those who are in denial that things aren't as bad as some may say that they are. They may look around and all around them and the people that they know in their little bubble, things are just fine and dandy. But the moment they step out of their little bubble, they may see something else and they don't want to believe it, or they see it and say, well, that doesn't affect me. That's not my problem. That's their problem. The problem with us saying that's their problem and it's not my problem is we are all in this together, where you realize it or not. It is a domino effect that is playing out. What affects one is going to affect the other. Let me do this. I've got it. I'm on here and I'm trying to see if they have got me as a video upcoming. I'm just trying to see because it's been like the second time this morning. Okay, it's showing me live. That's fine. It is fine. I can be live on here. I can. No, I know you don't want to hear it. I know you don't want to hear it. There's a lot of people don't want to hear it. People don't want to look at reality. And if there would be some comments to come on here, that would be great. What's going on? Yeah. People do not want to hear that things are really, we are in the downward spiral, whether some want to believe it or not. The whole of us, the whole of humanity is literally in a downward spiral, because what used to be is no more. It is quickly fading. Time is changing. Things are changing. People are changing. Systems are changing. The way of doing things, the order of doing things is being changed. It's being, no, I see, I don't even like to hear my computer. Let me log off of this. My computer's making noise and I do not want to hear it. Let me just shut it down. It's being too noisy. Some people say, Gina, you being too noisy. You don't want to hear it. Who wants to hear that our world has changed and things, we're not going back to what used to be? There really, truly is. You might as well, if you're in your vehicle of life, you might as well take that rear view mirror and just pull it off, because you don't want to look back at what used to be, because it may be too painful. And you can't go back there. You cannot go back there. You might as well take that rear view mirror, take it off. Take it off. Because there's no U-turns on this road that we're on now. You cannot go back. You can't. There's no U-turns. The only way is straight ahead, and it literally is into uncharted territory. And people do not want to see it. Some people do not want to hear anybody talk anything that is outside what they perceive. They don't want to hear no negativity. Anything you might say, even though it may be the truth, it's negativity. And they may classify you as you are a gloom and doom person. Well, this world is pretty gloomy, don't you think, when you have the Olympics showing the things that it shows, the ritualistic theatrics that took place. It's pretty gloom and doom. And who were they giving the theatrics to? Who was it to? Who was the audience? Well, we were the audience, but there was a bigger audience. It was like it was some type of a ritual. The things that are taking place. If you are one of the people who talk with a forked tongue in your mouth, and there's plenty of them. There's a lot of people talking with a forked tongue in their mouth. They, the world has changed. They admit it's changed. But then they say it's going to get better. But it's only going to get better for a certain few. And no, you're wrong. You're wrong. There is a mindset out there that it's all going to work its way out, and you're in the situation you're in. They can look at individual people who have lost everything, their livelihood, everything, and their life has not turned around. People are falling on hard times, but then there are other people out there that are turning a blind eye to those people who are falling on hard times. Hello, you all. You all, please give this video a thumbs up. Hit that join button. Hit that like button. Subscribe. There are people who have fallen on hard times, and there are people out there who want to turn a blind eye and say, well, it's their fault. It does not affect me. It's because they didn't do this and they didn't do that. Hello. Time and chance happen to us all. Like fish are caught in a cruel net, and they are. Those fish don't know that somebody's coming by, dropping down that net and scooping them up. So humanity is caught by evil times that fall unexpectedly upon them. Sometimes you can't prepare for everything. You think the person who thinks their job is secure likes it when they walk into the office, and I'm sorry, you don't have a job here. We're closing down. When their life turns upside down, you think could they have prepared for the unprepared? The unexpected. The unexpected. Do I watch the skies? I'm on different topics now. Do I still watch the skies? Yeah, there's some nice, pretty clouds out there. But I'm led by the Spirit. I will share whatever I feel led within my spirit. And right now, this world is in a time of great change. And if we do not prepare for the time of great change, because it is a great change, it truly is like the cataclysmic event that's going to strike the earth, catastrophic in nature. A catastrophic, that is life-changing. And if you are not aware of how it's going to change, if you cannot prepare yourself on the inside and on the outside, if you can't come to you got to come to some kind of understanding. You cannot stick your head in the sand forever. You can't. You need to pull your head out of that sand, because that sand's going to get really hot. You're going to suffocate. And when you do go to pull that head out of that sand, you might see something that you do not like and you weren't prepared for. You say, well, nobody told me. Yes, somebody told you, but you decided you wanted to stick your head in the sand. You wanted to stick your head in the sand, or you wanted to put blinders on your eyes, and you wanted to close your ears because what you were hearing is not what you wanted to hear. You wanted to hear that everything's going to be beautiful. Everything's going to be perfect. It's all going to be better. It's already better. But what happens when it gets worse? The world is in a mess. People's lives have been turned upside down. Families are broken in two. The world that we lived in is changing more rapidly than some people anticipated. Much more rapidly. The prices of food is going up. The prices of goods and services are going up. A lot of people cannot go and get their medications that they need, their life-saving medications, at the pharmacies because there's drug shortages. There are. The world is changing. And whether you like it or not, it's not going to stop for you. And you may be left behind. And you will be in the dark. You know why? Because you will have been the person who stuck their head in the sand. You will have been the person who closed their eyes and closed their ears. You didn't want to hear it because it rubs you the wrong way. Because you were listening to something that had a totally different message. You were told that it's all going to be perfect. Perfect. There's nothing to see here. Carry on. Carry on. And so you believed it. But what happens when the day comes and reality literally right there in your face, and you find yourself in the situation like a lot of other people? Your life has been destroyed. And you think it can't happen to you? It can happen to you. Do I think it can't happen to me? No, I don't think it can't happen to me. It's possible it could happen to any of us. You don't know. And you don't know what God will allow to happen in your life to bring you to some type of a place that you need to be within your being. You don't know. That's the thing. You don't know. It's just like you don't know what hour your Lord will come. He'll come like a thief in the night, and you won't be able to prepare. That's why you got to have the 5 wise and the 5 foolish. We're living in perilous times. And if they don't get artificial intelligence right, they have admitted extreme danger. That is peril. You're in extreme danger if they cannot get the artificial intelligence right. Because they will take over the world if it falls in the wrong hands, if they get it wrong, if they can't manage it. What happens when it decides, I don't need you because I can manage myself? You can be happy with what's happening in the world. You can be happy with economies collapsing, families being torn apart, morality on a scale like it was years and years ago. You can be happy with that. You can. And there's all types of immorality. Lying through your mouth is immoral. Stealing is immoral. Slandering is immoral. All of it. The list is so long. It's not just the major things out there. No. Being rude and disrespectful to each other, that's immoral too. That's immoral. You don't want to hear it, but the world is in trouble. Do you hear the current administration saying that we're in trouble? Have those words ever came out of their mouth? Have they ever? I don't even remember even seeing anything like that in the media. I heard Trump say, we're in trouble. Things are really bad. He used a different term. I've heard other people saying it. I can look around and I can see the state of the world. I can see the state of people. We can see the state of all over the world. Humanity is in trouble. Humanity is hurting. People are hurting. Their families are destroyed. They're losing their loved ones. But everything's okay. It's perfect. But it's not. Sometimes you can't even breathe when you go outside. It's so hot, you suffocate. The sun is burning people. People can't even afford to buy their groceries, pay their bills. Some people can't even find jobs now. We're in trouble. We're in trouble. And it's gonna get really bad before it gets really good. And I don't know if it'll ever get really, really good while we're physically on this earth. I don't. Maybe for a select few, it'll get really, really good. But for the majority of people, no, it's already hard. It's really hard for people to even make it. They can't even make it paycheck to paycheck. And there are those out there that blame other people when they fall on hard times. Sometimes it is the choices that people make, but other times it is not their choices. They fell on hard times. They need help. They're lining up in their cars all down the road. The food banks ain't got enough food for the people. When you ever see the old pictures of people waiting in long bread lines? soup lines. And what happens when another administration comes in and they cut the SNAP? Well, people use that SNAP. What happens when that happens? Oh, that's their own fault. No, they fell on hard times. And it's true, people have become dependent on the government. Someone has got people dependent on the government, and people have forgotten how to do for themselves. They have. Not the majority of the people, but a lot of the people have forgotten to do for themselves and to cut back and learn how to live within their means. We're in trouble. And some people don't want to hear it. They think God's going to come in and save the day. Nothing bad is going to happen. That time is not here yet. That time is not here yet. It's going to get bad. And if you're a Bible thumper, what is it? They'll say, "Come quickly, Lord Jesus." And if you're a Bible thumper, you didn't like my name is Thumper, that little rabbit. Thumper was a cute little rabbit. No, listen to me. Listen. It's like the Great Tribulation. It's like a time of distress that has never happened on the earth. Is going to be happening. And if you think about the Revelation, a quart of wheat for a day's wages and 2 quarts of barley, 3 quarts of barley for a day's wages, you'd have to work all day long just to even get a loaf of bread. A loaf of bread. Just as the people in the war-torn countries, just as the people who are losing their home to foreclosures. Ask those people. You're going to blame them? Well, they shouldn't have bought an expensive house. They should have managed their money better. Well, then maybe they lost their job. Maybe they lost their job because a lot of jobs are being taken over by AI and positions are being eliminated and companies are trying to find positions for those people, but they're not always going to be able to. If you want to be the type of person who looks around and has no compassion for others, you can't save the world. You can't. I can't save the world, but we can at least have compassion. We can say something kind instead of looking all arrogant and say it's their own fault. And in some cases, it is people's fault, but is that going to help them when they're looking for a kind word? No, it's not going to help them. You can be considerate of others. We're falling on hard times, and many more people are going to fall on hard times. You realize when someone dies in your family and you're left all alone, then you're thinking, well, who's going to take care of me? How am I going to make it? How am I going to make it? Or children. What happens when both their parents are gone? What's going to happen to them? What's going to happen to the animals? When a family moves out of a home and they don't take their animals, well, then they're left. They got feelings too. Yeah. What happens when people get sick and no one's there for them? You say, well, it's their own fault. They should have took better care of themselves. See, that type of attitude don't belong in this world. It's not going to help this world. It's not going to heal this world, and it's not going to heal humanity. The attitude is their own fault. It's because they didn't do this and they didn't do that. No, time and chance. Sometimes bad things happen to good people. And let's hope that if you're one of those persons who thinks you're better than someone else and you're making statements like that, let's hope that your words don't turn back around and fall upon you, because 9 times out of 10, that happens to people. We need to quit pointing the finger and quit being so judgmental. Truly, we do. And start showing some compassion for what other people are going through. Even though you can't help them, you can at least be kind to them. You can pray for them even if you don't know them. You can send positive thoughts their way. You can lend a helping hand. You can smile. Because the words that come out of your mouth, whether anybody's around or not, if they're words that cut a person down, even though you can't even see the person, you're literally sending that energy out there into the world, and you're adding to the darkness that's out there. Don't you want to make the darkness go away instead of make it grow? Your negative energy is what the darkness wants. The darkness wants you lashing out at people and blaming people for their own problems. We need to stop it. Your words are powerful. They have the power of life and death. They have energy in them. They literally can speak life to someone's soul, to someone. Your words can heal somebody's spirit. It can, just one word, just a few words will literally change a person's life forever. Just a few words, for the better or for the worse. So I know you don't want to hear this, but it's the truth. Sometimes people fall on hard times. Sometimes bad things happen to good people. And just because it doesn't happen to you, don't give you the right to sit and look down on others and blame others because it happened and have no compassion. What's it say? The love of most will wax cold. It'll be cold. It'll be gone. It'll be missing. You'll be looking for it and you won't see it. You'll see a lot of dim lights. It'll be rare. You want to live in a world of darkness, then you keep adding to that darkness. Keep spewing venom out of your mouth. Keep blaming others and biting and destroying others with your mouth. You are adding to the dark energy out there, whether you realize it or not, and that's not love. And God does not tell you to do that. If you're a God-fearing person, you're supposed to love. You are supposed to love. Love's the fulfillment of the law. It is for the Bible thumpers. Yeah, if you're watching this video, you're no better than I am, and I'm no better than you. It makes no sense to tear each other up with their mouth. With your mouth, it doesn't. Can you instruct people? Yeah, you can. People are hurting. People's lives are being ruined. They're getting destroyed. Families are being destroyed. It's all around the world. And some, the majority, at no fault of their own. It's like dark clouds hovering over them, and they can't escape it. There's a growing dark presence on this earth. You don't want to add to its growth with your negative energy. You don't with your hate, with your unkind words. You don't. And everything that you see on the TV, who's to say what's real and what isn't? A lot isn't real, and a lot is real. So if you want to put your head in the sand and say there's nothing going on in the world, you go ahead. Live in your bubble. You'll be like the boy in the plastic bubble. I never watched it. You can isolate yourself. You can pretend that all is well. It may be well for you. It may. But for others, it's not. And you yourself one day may find yourself out of a home. You may find yourself in a concentration camp, a FEMA camp. You may find yourself displaced like people who have had a natural disaster occur. Their homes got destroyed by fires that were raging out of control. Or hurricanes that literally wiped out entire towns, entire ecosystems, entire infrastructures. They have nothing. Nothing. You may say, well, they shouldn't have built their homes there. They should have took the war. That's not the response we need. They should have did this, they should have did this. I told you. No. See, that's not the response that you need to be having coming out of your mouth. We're in trouble. We need to build each other up instead of using our mouth to tear each other down. It doesn't matter what walk of life you come from. If we don't start coming together, we're going to be further separated on a scale that you have never seen before. And then you're going to become an enemy. It says, do not become an enemy when you should remain a friend. It would be better to have a friend than an enemy that did not even have to become an enemy. They could have remained a friend. Don't let others divide us. Okay, don't. Because if you listen to others, there's going to be a great big divide, even bigger than what is already happening if you listen to the wrong mouthpieces. I'm going to go. My words are done. You may not want to hear it, but we are in trouble. It's worldwide trouble. There is unrest in the world. Geopolitical unrest. There is a humanitarian crisis that is coming. A massive humanitarian crisis. And a massive spiritual crisis. The earth is in peril right now. The earth itself is in extreme danger because of what is on the earth. There is an energy that is growing, and it's a very negative energy, and it has got to be neutralized. It has to be stopped. You do not want to make it grow. You don't want to help it grow. You want to diffuse it. You want to put it out. You don't want to add to it. You want to weaken it. You do. I'm going to go. And I don't even know who this was for, whoever's watching. I know somebody was watching. I have their undivided attention. I know that. I can see it. I'm going to go. So with that being said, thank you for listening and watching. Please give the video a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button, the join button. It is really appreciated, and your comment is welcome. It is. I like reading the comments. So do a lot of other people. We need to be encouraged. But we need to know how other people are feeling, and you may not be feeling too well, and you may express it in the comments. That's fine, as long as it's not a terrible comment. It'll stay. Even the algorithm will allow it to stay. So I'm going to go, and with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, you all. I see 117 thumbs up. There's that number again. Yeah, and I had a genetic test, and guess what? They noticed something in my 17th chromosome. A unknown variable showed up in my 17th chromosome. Imagine that. I don't even know what it is.